They are being swarmed. They've got a Corvette, Tommy Miller right behind, trying to move forward. Throw in the 120, the Porsche.
Elliott Skier there to the inside. He doesn't want to give this up. This is fantastic stuff. McGuinness is going to feel the heat from Milner, who's into rhythm. He makes the move down to the inside. This is going to be tight coming off.
Skier goes with him, gets the job done, but now he's going to fight back. McGuinness tries to look to the inside.
Yellow, get a lot of marbling and pick up on the tires. Cameron is scorched off at the front of this pack. Just the cadence that you have to try and find here, and knowing where those GTD machines will give you a little bit of speed to make those moves. Dane Cameron's a past GTD champion. He knows that was really tight there. Up ahead.
Down to turn 3, and now the GT.
Contact there with the BMW, getting to the inside of the number 3. That is our championship leader in the wars.
Wow, and it's still continuing down to turn 3, and the other Corvette goes around. Oh, and big contact as they go to avoid him.
You've got to be so careful here. I mean, I'm sure Nicky's anxious to get going here, but if you try and nose it forward, that pile of GT cars coming through
taking place at the same time on the same field, you saw it right there.
He had a different feel. I think they maybe said stay out, feel the car. Is it damaged or not? He likes to stay out on the racetrack. Oh, look at this. This is a move for the lead. Nazar goes around the outside of Dries Vanthoor in traffic side by side as they climb the hill. Vanthoor doesn't want to give it up. He squeezes back inside the traffic. Nazar gets a better run up the Rahal straightaway. Wow.
And that passing is indeed possible. And turn 3 is a hot spot. It's a key zone to get it done. And that Porsche 963 is moving up. Despite some balance of performance change since the last race, most identified with that is the 963 and the BMW M Hybrid V8. They got less power, more weight, but they're still punching maybe above their weight.
Yeah, and I think what we're looking at is up the corner.
And this is all exploratory right now. No one knows what this racetrack is like in the damp this year. They haven't been on it yet in the rain. So right now you're learning your way through. I'm not sure I want to be the leader. I might want to be back a little bit so I can let other people go do that.
Look at that bright chrome Dex imaging Cadillac. That's Louis Delatraz, center of your screen.
Oh, there's a spin. Taylor's off the road. Just arrests it before he gets to the time.
This is where the GTP drivers earn their pay. You've got to look ahead, think ahead. Where can I use this traffic to my advantage? Where is it going to bump me?
That's tight. That is super tight. Almost touching there at about 150 miles an hour.
That could have been a disaster for Blomqvist and the driver of the P2 car there, because it was the downhill. The left front's grenaded.
Oh, he just got it.
Oh, boy.
Wow. That had to be a scary moment. About 170 miles an hour approach speed in an LMP2 machine. Missed his marks there or had a technical issue with the braking system.
That looked like he was doing 190. Ooh. And let me tell you, those tire stacks.
This is down the back straightaway. You think the air over the car would push it down, but in fact, there's a low pressure area that's created there, and the door kind of comes up and is drawn into it. So
that is such a distraction. You got to be so on your toes around this racetrack, hitting your marks. He's feeling a lot of heat right now from Roman DeAngelis right behind him. Sorry, Zachary Robichon behind him.
32 Mercedes has his hands full. That car not working well. Just absolutely swarmed in turn 7, the slowest corner on the racetrack. He is moving to the back of this pack as the GTP leaders coming through. Eliminate any side draft that the Mercedes may have. Now they touch.
Wow, that is tough. At 160 miles an hour, the 185 mile an hour GTP cars alongside. They do brush, they bump and ball through turn 1.
I was going to say they bump again, and you throw in a couple of GTP cars. You saw the BMW back out of it. It was just too close for comfort there.
Let's prep the best as we get ready for green here. Dillman will lead them away. Cameron in the purple dragon right behind him.
Tom Blomqvist will have another shot. The bright yellow car, Hunter McElroy, Felipe Fraga, Ben Hanley. There's the green. Let's do it. Let's finish this off. After the second full course caution, the P2 cars whip up to speed.
And here comes the 93 car, Renger van der Zande in the Acura.
He's going to get side by side with the Cadillac, but he thinks better of it.
That was pretty aggressive there by Ricky Taylor.
Yeah.
He knew that he had him clear, or a spotter was giving him that information. Taylor on the attack. Whoa! He's in the dirt. He's around. Big squeeze there by Tandy. Stews will look at that one. Pretty aggressive.
See what happens to Casper Stevenson. He got some help from the 120.
There's Elliott skiing now behind the wheel of that Wright Motorsports green Porsche. Dives down at the inside into turn 5. A little bit late. He turns to 27. It's not had a easy weekend. They had a lot of pace here yesterday. Qualified P3. Actually seemed to have the speed to actually go for pole, but got traffic on a couple of laps there. Then he has to be on it. Nasser has to get in a rhythm immediately because that 93 car is coming after him.
Onto the back stretch, almost 3/4 of a mile in length. Ringer is on it, chasing after Felipe Nasr, who we showed you earlier in the show, who executed those awesome passes at this section of the track coming into turn 3 when he went around the outside of 3 cars to leapfrog his way massively forward after a late race setback. Surface area of that tire, and how about the surface of this racetrack? This is a game changer.
This is incredibly sketchy to be driving in these conditions. You can see Stephen Thomas gets caught out by it. It's literally like someone will pull the rug from underneath the race car when you suddenly try to turn the race car. No one is at home. You cannot go slow enough at times.
George Kurtzkel.
Oh, that was tight there as he pulls out right in front of a Corvette.
Is out of the way, and that means Tom Blomqvist is going to be ready to go. As soon as he exits this right-hand corner, he'll jump in the throttle of that accurate GTP machine. And I'll tell you what, Jack Aitken not letting him get away, the red Cadillac just behind.
Now, a lot of energy in that car. You can just see it from how Jack is really putting that car on edge, weaving around here, trying to clean off the tires, as well as generate a bit of tire temperature. Great run here, bunched up behind.
Jack Aitken leads the way, and then Ringer van der Zande got a super start. So he was sitting 4th for that entire opening stint. The BMWs come together as they fight over the same piece of track.
Yeah, really tight there through turn 4. They do survive that little skirmish. Then Jimmy Bruni now on the attack on the second of that BMW. That's the bright yellow JDC Miller Motorsport Porsche. Battles going on here. We talk about the GTD Championship leaders being on the back foot. This is Philip Ellis right in the mix there. Maybe he got a little nudge there from Stephen McAleer.
Here's the problem, right, Calvin? You're back into a field of cars that aren't in it for the championship. They're in it for pride. Stephen McAleer is going to race you hard. That's what he does. One of the better drivers out there. He's the pro now.
In order to win this championship, they're going to have to earn it today, but they're picking them off one at a time.
Currently, as points run, they've dropped out of the championship lead. The problem, they haven't completely diagnosed the issue. It's intermittent. Sometimes it just gets stuck in a gear, but especially on the right-handers. They've told him just to try to stay in 4th if he can, especially on the right-handers, to keep up the speed. But if we get a long caution, look for them to pit.
Gave way, Nick Tandy to Felipe Nasr. No tires changed there. As for the sister 6 car, Matthew Jaminet gave way to Matt Campbell. They took on rear tires. When they asked Campbell about the Jaminet about the balance of the race car before he hopped out, he said yes, it could stand to have the rears replaced for the end of the show.
Split strategy there for BMW and Acura. They keep the 25 car for BMW out on the racetrack of Sheldon van der Linde. Blomqvist stays out in the 60 machine, but not a great start.
Now, George is doing the best he can to stay on the lead lap. He does not want to be overtaken, and there's contact there either side of the Triassi Ferrari. That was scary.
That is crazy stuff there at these sort of speeds. I mean, George just flicked around. I thought he almost got touched by Hart. How quick the maneuver was around that GT car, and then they almost came together when they had that. This Dries Van Torp, you're trying to identify the 2 BMWs there sitting in 2nd and 3rd.
Number 7, Porsche from the Penske stables, trying to look to the inside of the 31. Nothing doing there. The thing that is odd is looking that far back to find Felipe Nasr and Matty Campbell aboard the 7 and the 6, still looking for pace here at Road America.
Gap himself from this chasing Lexus, the number 12 car, very much in the thick of the championship battle. Parker Thompson behind the wheel. He shares this Lexus machine with Jack Hawksworth, recognized as one of the fastest GT drivers on the global stage.
And the sister car. Sneaking up the inside of the 77 there of Klaus Bachler.
That's where it got.
EPs are being serviced and exiting. Issues again with the air. They can't get the right front up in the air enough to get that slick dry tire off to put the rain tire on. They've lost a lot of track position here.
Back to green.
I think the real key was, did they use one of those windshield tear-offs during that pit stop? He may be able to survive. If he's got a dirty windshield and no wiper, that could be an issue for him.
He's already finding it difficult. Lost the position into turn 1 there.
He was going to stay out of the problem, and as he tried to go around it, he just got collected.
Boy, the hood of that number 70 Ferrari of Arib just went flying as John Potter limps the car back, and the 45 now wounded with left rear damage.
The restart zone is at the exit of 10B right there, so driver's already on.
Oh. 88 car there just gets a little bit sideways. This tight sector of the racetrack looked like maybe that was Gallagher into the back of him. He still sits behind him, so he's got a similar view, admittedly without the rear bumper on that Lamborghini.
And obviously, here's another view.
Oh, they were Brendan Arib. It is so tight there. They call it the snake as it wiggles around, then hitting those climbing S's.
Calvin, and it was a pretty bold move from Madison Snow to try to work the outside there. Just kind of ran out of brake zone, I think.